Hi everyone! Today, like a teacher with a chalkboard, I want to draw a few things for you to make things clearer. The video is called Quantum Leap. In this video, I want to talk about how to actually make this quantum leap. A quantum leap is actually a term from quantum physics. And simply put, it means a sudden change of state without any intermediate stages. So how do we reach our goal? How do we achieve what we want? What should we pay attention to in order to get what we desire, to see it in reality, to manifest it? I'll be drawing because it's much more convenient and visual this way. By the way, my lapel mic is back again, and I hope you can hear me well. I want to return this microphone. I don't really like it. You have to speak too close to it, and it doesn't suit me. It covers my face, which is uncomfortable for me. If I put it farther away, the sound quality gets worse. Look, let me start from a bit further back. How does all of this actually form? I've talked about this many times already, but let me remind you again. We see in the world what we have inside ourselves. What does that mean? Our knowledge about ourselves and the world, about what we are supposed to see, is like the observer in quantum mechanics. What we expect to see, based on our knowledge of ourselves, the world, our beliefs, and our state, is exactly what we observe. There is nothing external. Everything that surrounds us on the outside is what we have inside. The world is like a mirror. We look into it and understand what's happening within us. To change something in the external world, it's pointless to do anything out there. Even if you change something in the moment, it will still come back later, in some other situation, through other people. But it will keep repeating over and over again. To change this, you need to change what's inside. Look, here you are right now, a person. And you think something about yourself. Yes, about yourself. And let's just say that you have a pretty good idea of who you are as a person, and you can clearly see that identity represented right here. Actually, on second thought, let's go ahead and put you a bit closer for a better view. Who am I, truly? Yes, that's the question. And what is this world all about? And also looking deep inside myself. Who am I really? And what is the world that you experience around you actually like? We direct this outward. And all this knowledge you have about it, your beliefs, your being, how you define yourself and your world, your life, how it is arranged, this definition is what you see on the outside. It seems to you that you see something outside, and that's why you define yourself this way. That's a mistake. It just seems that way to us. That's how we've been taught since childhood. But in reality, your inner state affects what happens on the outside. It just happens a little more slowly. Because of this, it seems to us that this isn't the case. There isn't such an instant reaction as, for example, in a mirror. In a mirror, you smile and immediately see your smile reflected back at you. Here, it happens a bit more slowly. It's not as obvious. If, of course, all of this happened instantly, we would immediately understand who we really are. I think that was God's intention, or whatever you want to call it, that we wouldn't immediately figure out how it works and who we really are. So we have certain definitions of who I am and what the world around me is like, and it is precisely this definition, our knowledge that we see in our world. We send that definition out and it is reflected back to us. And we observe it through various situations, people, the way we live, how things turn out for us, how we look, our health, our relationships. All of this, absolutely everything, is influenced by it. In order for us to make a quantum leap, we need to do it right here. At the source, so to speak, not by trying to change the reflection of ourselves or alter certain situations, but right here, at the original source from which it all comes, we need to change this knowledge about ourselves. We take another little person. Here he has the new knowledge about himself. A new me, right? And a new world. Here he is, smiling happily. He is already, therefore, sending out a whole new set of vibrations, and as a result of that, he is seeing a different world reflect back at him. Confirmations of this new self of his. You need to define yourself. Who am I? So define who I am when my desire has come true. What kind of person is that? And you need to already become that person even before you see this. You need to understand how this works. We send it there, we send it over there, and only there, and then do we see it, not the other way around. We can't send blue arrows here and get the red one. The thing we want, you see? These are different things. To get the red one, we need to send out the red one, right? We send out the red one, and gradually all these blue ones turn red, red. Well, by red, I mean different vibrations. So what does this mean? To get something new, we need to become that new person on the inside already. It's useless to try to change something in the mirror, in the reflection. It's the same as breaking the mirror, trying to do something to change the reflection. Your face. You start trying to change something in the mirror, breaking it, trying to alter something. You need to change your face. And then in the reflection, that face will change. Change your posture, and then your posture in the reflection will change. You need to influence the source itself, your consciousness, and your self-definition of yourself in the world. It is precisely this self-definition, who I am, what I am like, and what the world is like, that you see confirmed in your reality. We all live in the same world, but each of us perceives it in our own way, because everyone has their own internal beliefs about who they are and what the world is like. Even if, for example, you distributed all the money equally among all people, after some time the poor would still remain poor, and the rich would multiply the money they had. And there would be this imbalance again. Some would have less money, others would have more, because it's not the amount of money that matters, it's not the world that needs to change, but what's inside. People who are rich, they know about themselves that they are rich. And so that they don't lose it. I'm sure you've seen many such situations. They can lose everything, but still, they start from scratch again and become rich again. They have this knowledge that it's possible and that this is who they are, that they can do it, and that's why they do it. And poor people have this sense of lack, the feeling that money is running out, and this feeling will gradually take away, reduce the amount of money they have. It's like in the Bible, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but to those who have, more will be given, but to those who do not have, even what they have will be taken away. If we complain about having little, about what we don't have, we end up with even less. To change this, you need to become, on the inside, the person you want to be. For example, say that you have plenty, pay attention to what you already have, enter this state of abundance, and then everything around you will start to align, so that the amount of money you have will really begin to increase. So we have now successfully defined our new selves. We have taken our desire and we have asked ourselves this very important question. Who am I when I am in this particular state? Who am I truly? And what am I actually like on the inside? When my desire has come true, what do I feel? What do I experience? How would I behave? And all of this we start to project as if it already exists. As if we have already become that person, as if we already have it all right now. You kind of need to play a game, so to speak. You have to believe that this is how it works. What is inside shapes what is outside. You lose nothing by doing this. Some people think, for example, those who don't believe in this, well, what does it cost you? What will you lose if inside you start thinking that you are already, for example, a successful person? Or that you have something you don't yet have? If you start to believe in this inside yourself, first of all, no one on the outside can see what's going on in your head anyway. It won't do you any harm. So I recommend you try it if you haven't done it yet. So what am I like and what is the world like? Let's say if we want some changes, something that's not there yet. We make a concerted effort to maintain this particular state, regardless of the circumstances. Here is the world we possess. We send our new vibrations into it. Who am I and what is the world? If we are sick, we send out the message that I am healthy, already healthy. Not that I am recovering, not that I will be healthy, but that I am already healthy. If we want a house, we send out the message that I already have a house. I will get a house, someday it will come to me, but I already have it. Let's say, for example, with your health, yes, you enter a state where you are already healthy. What does that mean? If you were healthy, how would you behave? You wouldn't pay attention to it. You wouldn't say, oh, something hurts here. Oh, I feel so bad. You wouldn't do that. So even if you feel bad right now, don't focus your attention there. It's there, but you don't concentrate on it and you don't make it grow even more. Try to shift your attention to something else. If something hurts right now, look at the trees. Just think about trees at that moment. This pain, it's there and that's it. Don't get fixated on it. Don't think, oh, it hurts. I feel so bad. I'm so sick. When will this end? No, just shift your attention to something else at first so that to weaken this sensation, let's say, and then when you have the opportunity, move into a state where you already imagine yourself as healthy, as if you are already well, and we consistently send those vibrations there. If we can totally become a new person, as if we already have it, the purer this intention is, so to speak, the faster we will see confirmation. We send it there, and despite the fact that for now we still have some old previous vibrational background, because even though we've thought through in our minds what we're like, we still fall out of that state. We can't always maintain that state and think that we're already new. There are always some old things coming back to us from the mirror, things that remind us of our old vibrations. And we fall into whatever comes to us. We fall into all these vibrations and stop thinking about what kind of new person we are. And at that moment, when we observe something, we return again to our old vibrations. We have the old definition of ourselves. And at that moment, of course, we broadcast our old vibrations into the world. We don't have that pure intention because something always starts to happen. Something reminds us of our past life, our old vibrations. And we immediately shift our focus there, vibrate at our old frequencies, and send out our old vibrations, which once again support our old vibrational background. What you are observing in the world right now, the fact that there aren't these rapid changes yet, that things are happening a bit more slowly, and what you are seeing now are your previous vibrations, the state you used to be in, your former understanding of yourself. What you are observing is the old. It is the past that you are seeing. If you want to build something new, you need to create a new understanding of yourself and hold on to it as purely as possible, no matter what is happening. Old situations from your previous vibrational background will occur, but you don't react to them. They happen, you just observe. Well, that was from the previous vibrational background. Don't think, how did I create this? Why did this happen? How did this even come about? I'm on high vibrations, and yet some nonsense is happening again. Things are happening a bit slowly. Don't react, act in the moment. Do what needs to be done. For example, your car breaks down, you go to get it repaired, but you don't complain, why? Why again? Everything is bad. Nothing works. Accept the situation. This situation was necessary. That's it. Don't overthink it. Just do what needs to be done in the moment. Go to the repair shop, get the car fixed, just an example, and continue to hold on to your new understanding of yourself. This is who I am now. Everything is already different for me. Hold on to it. You will still have some old situations coming from your past background, but as soon as you start reacting to each of these situations, which reflect your previous vibrational background, in a new way, not as you used to, your old reactions are your old vibrations. You need to start responding to these negative situations with new vibrations, not with negativity, but with the mindset that everything is leading me to something better, everything is taking me where I need to go. Whatever situation happens, even if it seems bad to us, we don't know what could have happened otherwise if not for this situation. Maybe it would have been even worse. This is, in a way, the best of what could have happened. And again, the previous vibrational background is making itself known. That's why we simply react in a new way, not as we usually would. We need to somehow introduce new reactions. If you usually get irritated or angry at a certain situation, but this time you smile, try to find something funny or good in it, try to get some benefit out of it. And so by continuing to maintain this state, we gradually will color all our events with the shade of our own vibrations that we emit. The more purely it matches, the purer our state is, the more new vibrations we have, and the fewer old ones, the faster it will manifest in our lives. What do we need to do? I want to touch on one more point. So we have a mirror, our world. And from there, certain events happen, some people tell you things. You need to set up a kind of filter. After all, you're already a new person, right? With new knowledge about yourself and the world. You don't look into the mirror anymore. You broadcast your own reality. Yes, you turn away from what's happening. You don't direct your attention there. You focus only on what you want, as if it already exists right now. Here you are, on your own vibrations, on your own wavelength. But the old vibrations, the old vibrational background, it's still there, yes. And throughout your life, through certain events and various situations, people will tell you things, and something happens that causes them to send those old vibrations back to you, the very same ones you used to have. Because of this, you absolutely need to set up a kind of protective mental filter. This filter allows you to process everything that comes to you from the outside world. For example, imagine some negative information comes in. Someone you know tells you that everything is bad and the situation is hopeless. You can then use your filter to pause and think, hold on, do I really need to absorb this right now? Does this match my new vibrations and my new understanding of myself? If not, we simply don't react to it. We don't fight it, we don't say it's not true or start doing something about it. No, we just don't accept it into ourselves. This person said it, that's it, let that be their point of view. I think differently. And we by accepting this information, we adapt it for ourselves, give it our own color, and accept it as our own, at our own frequency. If some negative situation happens, we find some benefit in it. Even if we can't find the benefit yet, we know that there is some benefit there. We may not see it yet, but somehow it still leads to something better, because our world cares about us. And we repaint what happened into your vibration. This way your vibrational background doesn't get spoiled, even if something comes from the outside. You filter it, and by filtering you change it to the vibrational background you need, and you stay on your own vibrations. You don't let these blues come in and make your vibrations blue, so to speak. You filter them and accept everything you hear, but you don't react. You choose from all the information that comes to you only that which matches your new self. And you don't fall back into your old ideas about the world and about yourself. No matter how much you're pulled back there, because your previous vibration, your old vibrational background, will try to pull you back at first. Everything works a bit more slowly. For now, we don't have, well, I think in principle it's possible to change everything in a moment, but we don't have those skills yet. We're still tied up in our old vibrations, and we can't just reset everything, you know? At least for now, I don't have the strength to just forget everything and become a new person. That would be ideal if you could become like a blank slate with nothing left at all and simply become a new person with new knowledge. And then, of course, everything would happen much faster. You could change things instantly. Now, let me tell you one more important thing. Don't switch off yet. This isn't everything. And then we'll sum everything up. Look, here I am, a new person with new knowledge about myself. I persistently project them, paying no attention to what's happening around me. I don't get thrown off at all. The new me plus a new world. Here is the world. What do we usually do? We send out new vibrations there. But why does it usually not work for us? We seem to visualize, imagine, and so on. But why does it often not work for us? Because there's one thing we don't see. We still have our previous vibrations. And how do they manifest? They show up as predictions about the future. We have some kind of experience. We live in the past because we live according to our experience. That's why it's often hard for us to change something in our lives, to make a sharp transition, to suddenly become rich if you've always had little money, to become happy, to become healthy, and so on. We have our inner expectations, our experience, our previous experience that we've had, which subconsciously dictates to us. What are we supposed to see? And it seems like we hope for the best, we visualize, we do affirmations, and we try to enter a new state. But this anticipation, so to speak, this observer who expects to see something is still operating on old vibrations. Because what you had before, your previous experience, is a different set of vibrations. If your previous experience already included what you need now, what you desire, you would already have it. You wouldn't want it anymore. If you still don't have it, it means you have different vibrations. If you still don't have it, and in order to shift to them, you need to vibrate in a new way and also have new expectations. And since generally we don't really know what it will be like if we haven't experienced it before, we can move into a state where we have everything, but we can't predict how it will all happen. Here, it's important for us to let go of that previous experience. because it's based on previous vibrations, and these old ideas of what we should see right now get in our way. They also maintain our previous vibrational background. It might seem like we're vibrating in a new way, but this background is very dominant, so to speak. It takes up a lot of space because it's more subconscious. We don't notice it so clearly in our thoughts, but it's there. Our expectations, our previous experience have a very strong influence. So what helps to get rid of these expectations? Because as long as we're projecting them, that's exactly what we keep seeing in the world. Even though it seems to us that we're sending out something red, maybe somewhere in some places there's a bit of red, but mostly it's blue, our previous old experience. So what should we do here? Ideally, of course, we need to become someone who doesn't know, a blank slate, and simply project something new. But very often, even unconsciously, we start to anticipate, to expect what's going to happen. We already know everything, we've already lived, nothing can surprise us anymore. We know how everything will turn out, our previous experience. Of course, sometimes it's very useful, for example, so we don't fall into some pit or stick our hands into boiling water and so on. But most often it simply doesn't let us move forward. So what should we do about all this? Move to new vibrations, make this quantum leap. Since we can't know exactly what will happen because this is a new experience for us. These are new vibrations. This is a new experience because we don't have it yet. We can't know about it right now. We need to, let's say, set our expectations to those same vibrations as well. But how do we do that? You can do this simply by letting go of any expectations and knowledge about the world, so to speak. You need to enter a state where you are new, where you are a new version of yourself. You are new. Yes, you have a new perception of yourself. That means your world is completely new as well. If all of this works, so to speak, you will have a completely new world. There will be a different you, different circumstances, different events. Everything will be different, on different vibrations. And how do you... By the way, you need to be prepared that everything in your life might change. We don't know, for example, maybe the job you have now or the person who is with you now won't allow you to reach these new states. And so things will change. You need to be ready for that. So we need to let go of expectations. For example, let's say we're going to work. And usually when we do that, we tend to think based on our past experience. Now this will happen, now that will happen. Or for instance, when we're out for a walk, even in such simple examples, we think, okay, now we'll see this store, then we'll see that, and so on. Our brain automatically maps out this route for us. As we walk, we just keep recreating the same old patterns. But what we actually need is something new. That's why we need to let go of all that, to let go of any expectations at all, and just be present in the here and now, in the present moment. We're simply here, without any expectations from our past, just existing in a new state. Who am I now? That's it. We let go of thoughts like, now I'll see that tree as I walk down this path, or I've been here before. Instead, it's as if we've entered a new world. We don't anticipate anything, we don't expect to see anything specific, we just marvel at everything. It's a new world, a new me, and things should be different here. I don't know how it's going to be, and we just move forward in this moment, now, without anticipating or making any plans about what we'll see. Each time we simply witness what is happening without any expectations. This really helps to clear away that old vibrational background that we don't even notice. It's precisely that which usually gets in our way. Let go of the expectation that you have to see something specific. Because the new you in your new world, things should be different. And it's these old previous expectations of ours that hold us back. Let's sum up what we need to do to make this quantum leap. First, I'm going to draw because I have a mirrored image here and you won't be able to see how it's written in the mirror, although maybe it'll be visible just fine. But I'll draw anyway, just to be sure. First, we take on new knowledge about ourselves. We define for ourselves a new meaning. Who am I and what is my world like? Based on our desire, this is the new me. We define our new self and we become that person. We bring this new self into our existence. This is the new me. Second, we take this new self and we send out this new self in vibrations. We remain in this state. I am already like this. Third, if something happens in the world from our previous vibrations, it sends us some old situation, some kind of information. We put up a filter We absorb only what matches our new vibrations. We change them. We respond in a new way, not as we usually do. We don't let ourselves into what doesn't match us. We simply let it pass by, it moves on. We take only what matches our new vibrations for ourselves. And finally, in our new state or new vibrations, we do not allow our old expectations, goodbye, to dictate what we will see now, what will happen next. We let go of all expectations because our new self, our new message is a new world, and we don't know what will be there. And since we don't know what will be there, we simply stay in the present moment and we witness what is, and we continue to know about ourselves what we want to receive, as if it already exists, without any expectations of what we will see or what will happen next. You need to understand that this is a new world. The world will be, and something will be different. But it is precisely our old expectations that get in our way. But of course, the state of gratitude for what is right now is also important. You need to understand that if you are in your new self, whatever desire you may have, no matter what it concerns, it cannot coexist with dissatisfaction with what is right now. If you are broadcasting dissatisfaction with what is now, you return to your old vibrations, to your old self. The I that has problems with something, and you keep creating that as long as you stay there. If you want to create something new, you need to enter the state of I who has a different life. And that person cannot feel dissatisfied because they already have everything. You need to make an effort over yourself to do this. People ask me, how do you do that? How do you stop getting irritated? Well, just don't get irritated. Taking control over yourself is within your power. Understand how it works and stop directing your attention there. Many people say, how can you be happy about anything when everything is bad? You just don't want to notice the good things in your life. If what you have right now were taken away from you, you would notice it immediately. If you think there's nothing in your life to appreciate, try to imagine not having it. Imagine you have no home, no clothes, no clean water, no food, no plants at all. Imagine the sun doesn't shine, and we take all these things for granted. And it seems to us that everything is bad in our lives. But if all of this were taken away from us, we would immediately start to value it. That's all for now, guys. I think I've told you everything I wanted to. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you for leaving comments under my videos and sharing your stories. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm grateful for your donations. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos. And I'll see you in new episodes